Hey guys, it's Catherine and you're watching CUKpop Today, and today is Recommended Music Monday, so I will actually be doing another album. I wasn't expecting to do this until this last week. I got my Sandeul album and I did an unboxing for that, and I was just listening to it and I was like, this is gorgeous. So my recommendation for this week is Sandeul's full mini album, and it's called Stay As You Are, and I'm recommending the whole album. Please go listen to it, and I'm actually going to be doing a small album review right now. So the first track on the album is called Stay As You Are. It's the title track, and this song, he's talking about he hasn't met his love yet. He hasn't met, the person he's going to be with for the rest of his life yet, but it's kind of a message to her saying, like, wait for me. Stay as you are so that I can find you. That's basically the overlying message of the song. The song to me is very earnest. If you listen to his voice, he is just, I don't know, there's just something about the tone of his voice that's very serious, very straightforward, and it's just earnest. Like, he's just trying to tell you, please, 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 I want to find you and I can't wait to find you. He's looking forward to it, and he just wants to tell her, like, please, I like you as you are. And he has like these beautiful lines that, like, one of the lines says, my days aren't at a waste because time has to pass. So it's so cute because, like, he's saying, even though I'm not with you and I haven't met you yet, this is all part of the process. Like, this is all that needs to happen so that I can meet you. So you know what? Each day, it's not a waste because that's just one day closer that I can be with you. He also has this line that says, if you are in love right now, please have a beautiful love. Boy, like, who says that? Like, so he's saying, the person that you're with right now, all the people that you might date or be with until you're with me, like, you know what? Enjoy those people. Like, I'm not jealous. I'm not mad. Just enjoy that time. Have a beautiful time. And then when it's my turn, we'll also have a beautiful time. But just like the way he says that and words it is so gorgeous. And honestly, it's so selfless. Like, just the way that it's spoken, when you hear it sung, it's so, again, earnest. And that's kind of my word for this song, is earnest, because just everything he says, he's so sincere and genuine about it. He also has this sort of verse where he's talking about, like, all the pain that she has felt from her previous loves and from her previous relationships. Like, don't worry, because once you're with me, all of your heartbreak, all of your sadness will go away, and it'll just be kind of smooth sailing and just pure love from then on. And I just love this song so much because this song is basically a letter, and just the way it's written and the order that it's written in is so complete, and there's a beginning, a middle, and an end, and it's just so beautiful. Also, the chorus. So the chorus, I think he sings it maybe 2 or 3 times, and at 2:43, go look it up, 2:43, oh my gosh. Just those beautiful background vocals, like the high note and then the singing over it, and just, so gorgeous. And at the very end, through the chorus, he's saying, again, stay as you are, so I can find you, so that, you can be mine. And at the very end, he says, so I can recognize you, I will find you, stay as you are. And I'm sorry, that's just like the clincher for me for this song is, like, so I can recognize you, pause, because, honey, I will find you. Like, don't you worry, don't you fret, like, I will find you and we will be together. Like, just stay as you are. And it's just so beautiful to me, and I just, that was like the cherry on top, that last line. I love this song so much, and it's such a beautiful opener, and I feel like it says so much about Sandeul himself, and I just, I was already in love. The next track on the album is called Home, and my word for this one would probably be passion. So this song is about his mother and basically his family, and he's telling sort of the story from when he was a teenager, maybe even to when he was younger, and just kind of how his family has always taken care of him. I mean, they've always given him this beautiful home. They've always loved him. They've always supported him. And he's sort of never felt like he's been able to pay them back. When he's first describing his life when he was younger, he says, "The time I didn't know because I was young, the space that has many regrets." And that, I feel like you're not going to get a lot out of this if you're not an older adult or even an older teenager. You might be a teenager, 16, 17, but you could still resonate with this song. That first line, oh, that got me, because when you are young, you don't know. Like, you just take everything for granted. If you live in a good household with a loving family, you just think, this is how everyone lives, right? Like, this isn't a big deal. So you just take it for granted and you don't really appreciate it like you should. And so I feel like the way that he words that is just so perfect. He then describes how selfish he was as a teenager and how he took his good life for granted. And then this one line, which everyone, especially when you are a teenager, again, you can't really understand this until you look back on it, but when you are a teenager, this line is so perfect. He says, "The space where I could always breathe." And he's talking about his home. And just, that is such an interesting way to word it. And it's so perfect, because when you're out and about, even if you're with friends, people that you love, you still come home and you're still like, this is home. This is kind of what I've always known, and this is where I'm most comfortable. Again, not saying that like home is the only place you can be comfortable. You might be totally comfortable in every setting, but we each have different parts of ourselves that we show people. And I feel like when we go out in public, we tend to show a different part of ourselves that's not necessarily who we are all the time. And I feel like that line, "the space where I could always breathe," when you come home, you can just take that mask off and just lay back and relax. He then goes on to say that it's pointless to try and pay his family back, for all that they've done for him, because you can't. I mean, no matter how hard you try, you just can't. And he then says, "The thing that I can't repay is the debt of the heart." And dang, that's just, that's emotion right there. And oh my gosh, when I read that, I started tearing up. That is so true. And because me personally, I want to be able to repay my mother, who she's the only one that raised me. I mean, other family members helped raise me, but it was her and her alone. And I want to be able to repay her someday. But the more I think about it, I mean, she gave me everything and I can't. And it's kind of sad to think about, but it's also, I don't know, you get also a warm feeling, because again, I was in this loving home. I was in this amazing, I had this amazing childhood. So it's sad, but at the same time, it's very heartwarming. And this song starts out so beautifully. It's very, very soft, very serene at the very beginning. And it kind of just builds and builds and builds to the chorus. And then once it gets to the first chorus, it dies. But it just keeps building, and it's just this slow ebb and flow of this song, and it's gorgeous until you get to the very end. And then it's like everything, everything that he's feeling, everything that he, wants to convey to his family, the whole time he's thanking his mother and his father in the chorus. He's saying, "Thank you, Father, thank you, Mother, and thank you, Sister, thank you for everything you've done for me." And then he has this line where he says, "Even though I can't say I love you," and he's talking to his family. And then right after that, it's almost like the way his voice crescendos, it's almost like he's finally able to say it. He's kind of, this is kind of a gross description, but he's throwing it up, getting it out and like finally, yes, 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 love you, Father, I love you, Mother, and I love you, sister, too. And it's just so beautiful the way it happens. It's like it was inside of him this whole time, and he's finally able to let it out. And his voice is just gorgeous. Like, he has a beautiful, serene voice. Even when he's powerful, it's still very controlled and very, very good sounding. Like, I love it so much. And then at the end, the piano finishes it off, and it's just the perfect ending to that song. And this is probably my favorite on the album. It makes me really emotional just looking back on my life, on my childhood, and I feel like it's just a really good song for anyone that's grown up, basically. Like, it's a great song for adults that can look back on their lives, and it just fills you with so much emotion and so much passion. Like, it's so good. The third track on the album is called My Childhood Story, and this song opens with a harmonica. Like, usually I live in Texas, and it's kind of known that, like, when songs, especially older songs, when they open with harmonicas, that's a storytelling song. And I mean, I know it says the title is My Childhood Story, but I just mean, like, there's something, about to be said. It's very bluesy, it's very sorrowful already. So the harmonica just makes it perfect. Now, I will say this song is actually, if you read the lyrics, it's very abstract. So this is obviously very personal, very near and dear to Sandeul's heart, because this it's kind of a 180 from home. It's still telling a story, but it's not one that everyone can interpret. It's not something that everyone can kind of feel and look, use for their own lives. It's something that is obviously very personal to him and something that's happened in his life, but he doesn't just come out straight and tell us, like, okay, here's this story, there was this man and I took a picture with him and this was the relationship and this is what happened after that. Like, everything is kind of in bits and pieces, and basically the whole song repeats itself. So you hear the song once, and after the chorus, he just goes on and tells the exact same story, not exaggerating. Like, he tells the exact same story, line for line, word for word. So it's almost like a memory is replaying in his mind, which I think is really interesting, but you don't know exactly what the memory is. And I think the beauty of this song is that it's not something that everyone knows, oh, yeah, that's about his childhood friend, or that's about, his family, or when he broke his leg, or something. But it's something that is abstract. So I think it's beautiful in that it's almost his own song. It's like a song just for himself. And I think that's really beautiful. It's not, obviously the fans can enjoy it and they like it. I love this song. But it's not something that everyone can just kind of throw their own lives into, which I think is really, really nice. And it's a very personal song, and I like it. And the whole time, for the most part, until you reach the chorus, but for the most part, his voice stays pretty even. Like, it's a very sorrowful song, so he stays pretty subdued. I'm not going to say serene. It's not a calm song, interestingly enough. But his voice just kind of stays at one level until he reaches the chorus, and then he belts out that one line, and it's just I think that's probably the most perfect thing he could have done, is just use that one line, the one word, to kind of put all his power into, and then he goes back to being soft. It's gorgeous. He says, my heart hurts even if I just think about it, but no one remembers it. And he says this a lot, that no one remembers what he's thinking about. No one remembers this memory. But even though no one remembers it, he tells us, like, just please listen to my story and continue on. That line for me is a little sad, because it's like he's all alone in this, and no one remembers what he remembers, but he'd like to tell us about it. And he knows we're not going to remember it, so just move on with your life. It's okay. I'm not mad at you. No hard feelings. Just listen to me, please, and then you can forget about it and go about your life. Like, I don't know, it's a little sorrowful for me, and I love that line though, but it is sad. And then at the middle of the song, you have this point, and it's right in between where he sings all, the verses and then the chorus, and then he repeats it again. So it's right in that middle, and this beautiful instrumental comes on, and again it's just so very sad, very sorrowful sounding. You have the harmonica, you have the guitar, but it's so beautiful and almost haunting. And then he repeats everything, but it's just, I don't even, the song is so perfect, and I know this is a fan favorite for a lot of people, and I really think this one is extremely good. So the fourth song is called Ya, I think it's called Ya. I couldn't find, everyone kept saying that the title was a different thing, but I think it's Ya. And this is a very light, springy song. It's actually kind of total opposite from the rest of this album. And it features Wheein from Mamamoo. And I love this song. I love this song so much. Right off the bat, I feel like him and Wheein, even though they're singing about fictional people being in love, I honestly feel like him and Wheein are in love. The way they're singing, the way they describe, Sandeul says, when you smile, a tiny dimple appears. And Wheein has a dimple. So, I honestly, pictured just them together. I love this song so much. And this one is the classic, boy, girl are friends. They've been friends for a long time. And then all of a sudden, probably one summer or, after the summer ended, the new school year starts and they see each other again. And they're like, hold up, damn, hello, you glowed up. So both of them see each other. At first he's just singing and he's saying we've been friends for a long time, but I see you differently now. I see you as a woman now, and I'm not sure how I feel about this. And he's very nervous, he's very hesitant, and he's just hiding his feelings from her because they're just friends right now and he doesn't want to ruin that. And so you feel at the beginning of this song, you feel oh, okay, it's just him that feels this way. And then the chorus hits and they both start singing, and he's kind of saying I don't know what to do, I finally see you as you now, but I'm not gonna say anything right now. And then she jumps in and she's like, boy, I'm the exact same way. She feels the exact same way. She sees him differently. She sees him as a man now. And there's a line that says, why do I want to hold hands when the back of our hands touch? Cute. So little things that he's done before that were normal, fine, whatever, she didn't notice them. Now she's like, oh crap, he touched me, he put his hand on my shoulder, he touched my hand, what do I do? So she feels nervous and excited too. And I love this line. It comes towards the end and it says, a different guy, a different girl, I'm not going to think of you as a child. And they're both singing that part, and it's dang, I don't know, I just love how that's phrased. Korean songs just have this phrasing that is so poetic and so beautiful, and I love how that's phrased. Also, can I just say, Wheein has done a lot of work this year, not just with Mamamoo. She's been featuring on a lot of people's songs, but I honestly enjoyed her with Sandeul the best. Herself sounds good on the other songs, but the male parts that she's been teaming up with don't always sound that great with her voice. But this one, I feel like her voice and Sandeul's are just perfect. It's a match made in heaven. And I love listening to this song. It's so fun. It's so cute. Especially after you read the lyrics and you know what it's about. They're just this boy and girl having these new feelings for each other. I love this song even more now. And their voices are so beautiful and match really well together. Now, the fifth and final track on this album is called The Road We Walk Together. This one is a very loving song. It's the opening instrumental is just like, I don't know, it's really beautiful, but it also, for me personally, it gives me this nostalgic feel, which I don't know where that's coming from, but this, like, just this feeling of like another time and another place. And I really love that feeling. And at the beginning of the song, he's talking about this, this other person, his significant other, and he's saying, he's been sharing this life with her, and, all this time has passed, but he hasn't even noticed it because he's been having such a great time with her. And, finally he realizes, like, oh, wow, the years have gone by and we're still together. And his voice is so, it's not only soothing, but it has a very positive tone to it. And that's because the whole song he's talking about, like, this person has been making me happy for this long, and I'm just so overjoyed that I get to be with her and I get to spend, every day with her. The one line that I think just sums up this whole song perfectly is, when this road we walk on sometimes feels far, I'll always be there by your side. And that's basically the song. I mean, that's basically what he's saying. At the beginning, he was saying, like, I'm so surprised that we've made it this far, and I'm really happy that we have. And just to let you know, whatever comes our way, we're going to work through it. We're going to get through it. No matter how far the road feels, which I like how that sounds. It's not just like, oh, when things get hard. It's like a mental thing. Like, no matter how far the road feels, I'll always be there by your side. I'll always be, making sure you're okay, and I'll always be lifting you up. And I just love that line. And I love this song. The instrumental breaks are just as important as the lyrics themselves, because there's so many. I think there's like 2 to 3, and just the strings and the instruments and just, oh my gosh, how everything blends together so nicely. It's just so beautiful, and I love listening to this song and just like kind of relaxing, like not doing anything, just listening to the song. Like, it's so beautiful. And I believe that the song is calm. It's a very calm and soothing song, and his voice never gets too raspy, or, he never belts anything out. And I think it's to pretty much tell the girl, like, when you're with me, everything will be smooth. Everything will be fine. Everything will be okay. And it's almost to reassure the person that he's singing to, which I think is perfect. And overall, I love this album. I hope you guys go listen to it. If you have listened to it, I hope that you were able to sort of see some of the things that I was seeing. And please tell me your opinions on the songs below. I love hearing other people's, like, interpretations of songs or lyrics and stuff. I love that so much. So please, please, please share your opinions and your thoughts below in the comments. And if you have heard this album, please tell me your favorite song on the album, and please tell me why you like Sandeul and this album. And oh my gosh, I just love this album so much. And I couldn't decide on one single song, so I was like, I guess I'll just do the whole album then. So there you go. And like this video, subscribe, follow me on Tumblr and Twitter. Those are down below. And thanks for watching CUKpop Today. Thanks for watching Recommended Music Monday, and have a good day.